Absolutely. Yes. Conversations overheard, your favorite over for people in their chapter two of life, people over 50. Happy to see you guys. And so tonight, well, tell us the reel that you saw.
Yikes. So yeah, I saw a reel earlier this morning and sent it to you. But it was just for fun and kicks, and then we decided, we're gonna just talk about it. So a lady got on the internet this morning. She was very pissed off, and she was like, "I'm gonna out. I'm thinking about outing my son's coach, his basketball coach." She must have done more than think about it because she just went right into outing him out.
Well, if it was her face and people know her, she technically had outed him at that point.
She did because she named names. Coach Cleveland.
Yes.
That's what she said.
Yes.
And so she said, "Yeah, Coach Cleveland, you promised me that if I, for lack of a better word, tossed your salad, then you would put my son on the basketball team." And she was pissed because he was not on the basketball team. And she said, "And I did it, and I'm going to tell your wife." And she named her, I think, Michelle Cleveland or somebody like that. And she said, "I got receipts." She said, "And, I did this to your husband. I tossed his salad." She said, and
She was very graphic.
very graphic. I'm cleaning it up.
I'm not going to clean it up. Let me just paint the picture. She was like, "I ate your ass. I ate your ass." Oh, okay. Go ahead.
They're like cousins, though.
Well, she didn't say that, though. I just,
Said you ate your
want
ass.
to misquote the lady.
Yeah.
She was already pissed.
Forgive me,
Right.
If I throw something in there that shouldn't be in there.
Want to piss her off. Right. So she said, "And you want receipts? Your husband has a tattoo on his ass." She said, "And it says, 'Be patient. Bigger things are to come.'" It's tattooed on his butt. So that's the real. But she was literally upset because she did this to help her child, who was still not on the basketball team. So, I was thinking, what in the world? Like, how did this conversation start? "Yeah, coach, I'd like to, get my son on the basketball team. What can I do?"
Oh, I can tell you what you can do.
Right. How does
Wow.
this even happen? And for her to be like, "Okay, well, I guess, we have a deal then." It just sounded so bizarre. But when you think about it,
Okay, so let me tell you. So what I thought of instantly is my son who grew up playing basketball. He played AAU basketball. He played for a very popular, extremely well-known team in Chicago. And I'm not saying that this happens to all the blanket statements, but it happens a lot. And one of the main reason why my ex-husband, who was my husband then, he was like, "You're not going to be taking Steven to basketball practice. You're not doing it. I'm doing it." And like he was like, "I don't care how busy I am, what I got going on. I'm doing it." Because the coaches do approach. He's like, they mainly go after the single moms. He was like, "But I just want to make sure because they will ask. They will come on to the single moms and shimmy up and feel you out. And yeah, you want your son to have more playing time. This is what you need to do." And a lot of I didn't find out until much later that many of the moms that I knew were, I won't say many, a few of the moms. I don't want to paint that picture, but a few of the moms were getting in with the coaches.
Yeah, some kids, minutes,
Yeah.
average minutes per game went up.
Yeah, it happens.
yeah,
It's
that's wild.
interesting in the story of the Rio for this reason. Because if this son is not even on the team, he's bootylicious. So I mean, she had to it was gonna take a Herculean effort, which she alleged to have provided. But if he was not even on the team, because she said, "You're gonna have to put my son on the team." So that means that he was sitting in the stands that means that the lady with the helmet was laughing at him. You ain't on here. So I mean, it's for her to even get on the team. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, I imagine him to be like a little tubby little boy who probably wasn't athletic, you know what I mean? And she just wanted the best for her son. This is what I'm imagining for her to do something that is this wild and out. That, this was her way of protecting him, which really is not protecting him from anything. Because
It
now
made
the
it
world,
worse.
right?
Knows that her mother was
Right.
eating this man's ass.
Now he was,
And then going on the internet and talking about it. You can keep a secret.
and he
Hey,
was ostracized before he
you
could
have,
be
Lord,
out.
right. You have no shame.
None. That's how angry she was.
Yeah.
She was like, I ate your ass. And I'm telling your wife.
But I mean,
I told her.
there's a lot of stuff. I mean, first of all, if she went on the internet, which you all are alleged that she has, then she actually outed him right then and there because people, people can do simple math. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So she did that part of it, and to me, I look at her and I'm like, if your son wasn't even on the team, that's a lot of distance to cover.
And so I didn't picture him as being a tubby kid. What I picture is what I'm familiar with. And I pictured a kid who was mediocre, who was probably a tall kid that was mediocre, because I know a lot of super tall boys that are just haven't really developed, haven't grown into their bodies, and could probably be something. So she was making sure my son needs to make the team.
But I took it like Gary though. I took it like he wasn't even on the team.
Right.
Like
If
he was like,
he wasn't on the team,
Right.
That's why my mind went to like
Well, yeah.
he's not
I've
athletic.
seen a lot of basketball in my life. I have never in my life seen them go up in the stands and get somebody like, hey, come here. You look athletic. We're going to put him in the game. We subbing him. No. If he ain't even on the team, she got to. I'm surprised that's all she had to do.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Gary.
Well,
he ain't even on the team.
Yeah. But here's the thing now. I mean, like now he's still not on the team. And everybody in the world, plus the school, his classmates,
can you imagine?
knows what his mom did. Like, for real, why not send a letter to the school and tell the school what he did? Why not make a phone call and tell the wife? Why tell the world? So now your son
is humiliated
in front of the world. Like,
well, I mean, at least she got a humiliation partner. Because she should be humiliated too.
I don't think
Apparently not, but
at least not today.
She didn't even with a bonnet on. She couldn't even take the bonnet off and look presentable. She was that
I'm not surprised by that because good decisions don't seem like they really follow around.
Well, you know what? I agree with that.
I agree.
That part
That's
does not. But to put that out there, because that kid probably still has to go to that same school, still has that same peer group.
I feel so sorry for him.
But that it's a very popular meme. Like they have this meme that guys always laugh at, and it's of this mom, and she is just stacked up like traffic, like boom, boom, boom. Yeah, she's better than this part.
Okay.
And so, she's talking to the coach, like, Coach, my son don't get no time, and blah 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 blah, and this, that, and the other. And then the guys are always laughing, like, oh, he'll be starting next game.
Ah.
So, but if this dude ain't even on the team, I'm surprised that's all she had to do. Because that's a huge, huge, huge leap to make.
I mean, honestly, I don't know if these are like real things or if they're made movies like Lifetime movies that are made. I don't know if they're based on true stories or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember seeing something where like there was a cheerleading kind of situation where the cheerleading mom like did the life of another little cheerleader because of her daughter. Not getting, whatever.
She didn't get the last spot on pom pom.
Yeah. I don't know if that was real, but
there have been a few of those.
There have.
But I mean, again, these are very wild, obnoxious, out of control things that you would
Parents
not
do,
think a
yeah.
parent would do for their child, but apparently they are
Mama
doing.
bear tendencies.
But that's a
I'm
huge,
a
That's
that's
gorilla.
a
that's
that's a
silver
that's
pack.
that's a huge point because I don't agree with the mean girl part of it, but that's peer on peer.
Yeah.
When you have an adult, not an adult, but an adult that is, participating in this,
Yeah.
an adult, this participating in this behavior. What the what? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be the adult in the room, in the building, and you are participating on any level. And it's okay if your son, not everybody is going to be a great basketball player. Not everybody is going to be, make pom poms.
And
Sometimes,
that's why the ass eating is thrown out. They put it on the table like, I'm gonna do this for you so that my son could make the team.
I mean, I think that, for one, I think she undervalued what she did. But I think that the coach also, was probably on some sinister stuff because it's hard to get somebody on the team.
You think he was on some sinister?
Right, but I mean,
Is that a real question?
I don't think that there was a spot for this son anywhere. He wasn't even on the team. That is huge. That is huge, 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 huge.
That's like she should have counted like all the positions are filled. Where is he gonna fit?
Well, maybe this was during tryouts. Maybe it wasn't like she was trying to get him on the team after the team was picked. Maybe this was like, okay, these are AAU tryouts, and we don't know. We're just painting our own individual narrative.
But we do know that time has lapsed because we know that there was the conversation, there was the deed, and now we find ourselves here. Mm-hmm. So that part of the timeline we understand. We don't know if that was 6 weeks, a year.
Yeah.
I would hope it wasn't a year for her sake.
Well, she was pissed.
Hot.
So it could have been any of that. But again, she doesn't have a real history of making good decisions. And
we don't even know how we know that.
Right.
Just by these last two.
Yes.
Right. And I mean, in my mind, because we don't know. But she got up, but you always said she had the bonnet on.
Yeah.
So she got last night.
Or from whatever.
But
she was thinking about it. You're right. She was mad.
We don't know when it happened.
No, he was saying
time had there was a build up.
She was pontificating.
And there was an opportunity for her to be like, he got me. No, he got me. Son, you suck, and he got me, and we ain't doing that. We get you in badminton or table tennis. Right. So, basketball's not your thing, son.
It was just a wild thing to see early in the morning. Let me just say that.
I mean, I think I told you the story about, I'm going to say his name, Jeff Coleman, when we went to the kids' piano recital.
I don't know. I heard this one.
So anyway, we go, our friend told us, hey, come see my son play piano.
Oh, I remember that.
And so the son was horrible. I mean, it was really bad. So, I had to man up and be like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That was all I could do. And so Jeff was like, hey man, don't you think it's about time you get that boy in football? So I mean, she needed to have that kind of moment where she was like, hey, this basketball thing, I got to do too much for you to get there. You haven't done enough, and I can't do that much. So you got to find something else to do. You ever think about cheerleading? You could be a male cheerleader. They need people for the base. You can do something different.
We bounce stuff off each other all the time.
All the time.
I can't imagine me bouncing this off on somebody. If even, let's say I was hurt, and the friend like, yeah, girl, you should do it.
Go eat his ass.
Yeah, go home.
Do you know how to eat ass? You want me to show you?
What kind of friends do you have? Right?
Or you find out your friend is on a different path than you because your friend is like, well, hold on, I have these instructional videos. You like, where did you just what the? Oh my! Wow!
All of this.
Wow!
Insane.
Wow!
It was
But
it was
I did
classic.
get a good chuckle off that.
I know. You're flying, right?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the child
I do too.
because I mean there definitely was a teachable moment where she could have been like, maybe you need to work hard. I'm gonna get you a coach, or I'm gonna actually talk to people that really can help you.
All the things.
Like, why does that even? Oh, I shouldn't say why does that even enter your mind to do that. I shouldn't say why does that do that because maybe that was his idea.
The kids?
No, the
Oh,
coach.
okay.
Maybe the coach put it in her head. Maybe he said, "Hey, I know what you can do."
Yeah,
You know,
but,
I
but
won't
she
say
but she
maybe.
probably asked in that way too. She probably was like, "Is there anything that I can do?"
No, why you think that? She could have just said,
She
"What
didn't
can I
seem like
do?"
that.
And
Because you
was like that.
can't
She was-
get to
she-
you can't
She
get
was
to
very correct.
you can't get to reverse cunnilingus from man. I want my son to get a uniform. That's a long
She
distance.
probably just went in there like,
Yeah.
"What can I do to get Tyrone on the team?"
Yeah, listen, for that to have been the deed that she had to do, this was not his first rodeo with asking somebody to do something obnoxious
but
and below the belt.
but there was
I don't believe
also a part of the mother that knew that from a value standpoint it was equal.
Because there's a coach in Chicago when my son was coming up that was known for
for
that.
this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was.
So he had his line together.
But
What can you do? Actually,
for the mother, it was a short distance. I mean, it wasn't like she was like, "Oh my God, this is so wrong." She was like,
but maybe she wasn't. Now that we don't know. All we know is that she was
No. We do know.
and maybe that's why she was pissed because she didn't want to do it, but she did it. I'm just saying.
But can't nobody, I don't care how much you love your child. If it's something you don't do, you're not doing that, and your child is just gonna have to get over it. If my son's coach was like, "Hey, I'm gonna need to, man, bruh, we not doing that. Hey, son, okay, I don't want to be. If I have to explain, you don't need to know. But my son ain't getting on that team.
No.
Well, no. But I don't want to label her as just the salad tosser. I don't.
But she is.
She is.
She's not just that. She's a sucker too. Let's be clear.
But she was so furious that it almost seemed like I did this stupid shit and
Because
you
asked
didn't
me to.
because you made this promise to me and you didn't. It was almost like if she could cut him, she would have.
But it wasn't a bridge that was so far.
But I don't know.
She was outraged that he didn't deliver. If the little boy had came home with a uniform, she'd have been okay. She was like, "I'm comfortable with that." So that lets me know that she didn't have to get to the point of where she was doing these deeds. She had to get to the point where she was doing it with him. Right. And in order for her to do it with him, she was like, "Okay, yeah, my son is horrible on the basketball court." So I know that in order for him to get a uniform, because there was no attachment of playing time or he need to sit right by the coach during the game, but none of that. It was like he just really need to get it. You trifling. I did my part, and he don't even have a uniform. Right. He ain't on the team. Right. That's where that anger is manifested from. That's where she's presented from. Not that she was outdone about what it was. She was okay with that.
So, sidebar, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
6 years ago, Kimmy and I, we came across some crazy stuff on the internet, and we were just like, "Is this real? Like, could this really be real?" And it was basically women who were from the United States who would go over to the UAE, and they would do like the wild things for a day with a group of men over there, and they would come back super rich, like millionaires.
Yeah.
And so, but the acts that they had to do, I was just thinking, and so was Kim, would anybody really do this? And then, like, we kind of think we know somebody who did do it.
You probably know many people that
But-
did do it, but they ain't.
I don't know about many, but at
Not
least-
many, but at least
You know
at
more
least
than you
one.
think that you know, because there's somebody that did it. Like,
But
Well, that's not like
let me
going
finish my
over-
point. My point was this. The reason why I even brought that up. You said it wasn't out of her wheelhouse. Like basically it's not that she did the act, it's that she didn't get paid for the act. Or she not paid,
Right.
she didn't get the payout. And I don't think like the person who we think could possibly be the person who did this thing is the person who would be doing those things. Like I just don't think that she would be like, oh, you know what?
let me say this.
I think that if she did it because it was somebody said you're gonna get $6 million if you do it.
Let me say this. I tend to attach angel wings to everyone that I like. Anybody that I like
Same.
is just cannot. They can do no wrong. They would never, ever.
I
And
wouldn't say that.
and I constantly.
I overlook people when they.
Right, and I will ignore
Not
red
fair.
lights, yellow
Right.
lights.
Same.
I will, man, you are an angel in my world if I like you.
It's like a parental thing.
But exactly, it's called the halo effect. But within that, man, people let me down. I hear stuff and I'm like, oh, not you. You didn't see the halo. What? No.
Was your light out? Did the butt blow?
And what we're seeing now, especially. Right, I thought you just cracked it and threw it away, right? So you bump your head. I mean, what happened?
Oh my
But within that what we're finding with younger people is that not only are they doing the things, but they talk about it. It's normal conversation. Before when somebody was, kind of really out there on some freaky stuff, they kind of like kept it low, Now they be like, oh no, I do this, I do that, I do all of that, up, down, all around. They will tell you in a minute. Young people will confess it all. You are like shocked. You are mortified. I'm gonna need you to breathe.
I'm just
In.
shocked therapy.
No, people.
Right.
But and maybe I don't know, because I certainly wasn't there, but I just don't think that this lady was, this was all that far. This wasn't her first time. And I think that, she was like not really there with him. And the fact that it was a negotiation suggests to me that she had probably been negotiated with before. That somebody else had been like, man, if you're going to get your car back, you're going to have to, do a little something. She like,
See,
okay.
you putting it on her, and I leave it on the coach.
Oh, he nasty.
I'm just saying,
He
you're like,
nasty.
like she had a reputation.
Part of the bar.
But he didn't,
Yeah.
exactly. He's not a good business person. He doesn't have integrity.
He
That's
doesn't
the
have,
job.
he doesn't have intelligence either, because the nigga is married.
He's probably fired by now.
But also,
Well,
he could be AAU.
yeah,
It ain't no fire.
That's extortion and
No,
weird stuff.
but
Yeah.
AAU,
It's
You
no
don't get fired. You can just do whatever.
You just go to another city.
Yeah, it's not the same as.
You ain't down.
gonna
You ain't
fire?
down on the low end no more.
If
You
it's a-
you an
if
AAU
it's a team
coach
that
at
is
Evergreen
that is
Park.
winning, and that's the issue, you're not getting fired. Who's gonna fire you? This is almost a volunteer position. Who's gonna fire you?
Answer
You can't
her.
go with a jersey and hey, I'm the new coach.
No, he answered.
You're not
I'm
getting
just
fired
here.
for that.
Right.
Trust me.
He answering her. Like, 'cause I mean, if his integrity was better, he should have got the little boy a uniform or something.
And just benched him. I agree.
Man, give him a uniform.
Yeah.
She did
Let
her
him
part.
go in, when it's the last.
And they're winning by 30.
Right. And if you're teaching a valuable lesson, you're teaching that, hard work pays off.
Listen, I feel really, really bad for that kid. I mean, the mother made a bad decision and she continued to make bad decisions. But poor kid, the kid.
I feel sorry for the mother for this reason. She got cheated. I mean, they couldn't get a little boy a uniform. I mean, that's just horrible.
I agree.
That's horrible.
So for him to
In
have,
and out. Breathe.
so he's really not that intelligent, because in order for him to, you're married, you didn't, like you said, put the kid on the team.
Mhm.
Why would you risk all of this, angering this woman who is clearly, a little on the hoodie side?
But you
So
he could have strung her along. He
no,
could have
I'm
been
just
like,
wondering,
I'm
like,
gonna get
what?
him a uniform.
Oh, you're
right.
right. Now,
If he wants some playing time,
so that could be.
you know what you're gonna do, girl. We started at the top, but it's a higher plane. You can get there, and we can
Yeah,
help.
he shouldn't have done that. I mean, especially if you're married. It's like you got too much to lose.
He shouldn't have done it. Married or single.
Well, no, I agree,
But then on top of that, if he's gonna do it, get the little boy a
get him
uniform.
a uniform.
Make him a manager.
The water boy.
He got a great, hey girl.
That is a position.
Right, hey girl, you know what you gotta do. You want him to get some playing time. You didn't say nothing about
it. Is a position. The water boy.
Right. You want some playing time. Oh, you know what you gotta do. Playing time. Oh, hey, you said on the team. I did what you said. I held up my end of the part. They all, you know what? I'm in trouble for doing that.
Everybody knows the team manager is a kid who didn't make the team.
Have you all had any other instances besides this of parents doing any wild things for their kids? What?
Joan Benet Ramsey's parents taking her out, driving her around to. Well,
What? Yeah. What? What do you mean what?
Joan. Well, I didn't know about that part, but
Yeah, that's already come out. That came out like a few months ago.
What?
really,
That John Bonet's picture is in Epstein's house, and he has pictures of her and they're framed together, and
oh
and
Lord,
that John Ramsey is a friend of Epstein. So
Are both parents dead
It's
yet?
in the Epstein file.
Are both parents dead?
I don't know.
He's not dead. He's 90 something, but the mom is gone. So then now people are speculating because John Ramsey is in the Epstein's files,
Oh
and
Lord.
John Bonet's picture is literally, if you look it up, if you Google it.
No, I had no idea. That's really horrifying.
Yeah, they're saying that they sold her too. But at any rate, I'm sorry. That's what I thought you were getting ready
Wow.
to say.
Yeah, but okay, no, but well, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, but I know of a person in particular, and this person I used to ride the train with, and that's as much information as I'll say about him. But she was telling me that, she went on her kid's class trip, and the kid was kind of ungrateful. And so she was thinking to herself, like, man, I had to sleep with 3 different men so you could, go on this trip. And she said it to me because we're friends. We have been friends for quite some time.
So she had to get the money for the kid to be able to go.
Well,
Oh, really?
And she had to sleep with 3 different men.
Aw.
She didn't tell that though, did she?
She didn't, but she was very hurt that the child was so ungrateful.
Aw.
And
The
she said,
sacrifices that we made
yeah,
in order for them to have or to do.
I'm gonna need you to breathe. This is in, out, breathe.
I'm breathing.
That's so sad. She slept with 3 guys to get the money for her.
And even worse, the child was ungrateful. Like, I'm supposed to go. This is my graduation trip.
She was
But
your friend?
I don't want to give more information because then people.
She could have just asked you to borrow some money. Instead of, I would have gone that
How
route.
much money did she need? Was it an out of town trip?
Yeah, it was an out of town trip. I mean, I would have given her the money. At that time, I was, my life was good.
Yeah,
And
so you didn't have to do
I hate to
that.
put a number to it, but I
Does
think that it was like $1,800. So I would have given it to her. Here, take it. Don't worry about it.
Right. But
Take
instead,
her child.
people take the path of what they feel like is the least resistance. And so maybe she felt like that was the easier route. I don't know why, than just asking a friend. To me, that would be the easier route. Asking someone, hey, Johnny
Can I
wants to go
Right.
to the 8th grade trip.
Right, little person needs to go on the 8th grade trip.
Right. I don't have any money to send them. Can you help me out? I would probably not think like 1-800 call a John.
That's so sad.
So, I mean, you asked the question, and that
Oh
is.
wait,
Yeah.
wait, did she sleep with men that she knew, or did she sleep with? You said call her John. Was she prostitute?
I don't
You don't want to reveal.
I don't know that part of the story.
Okay.
I don't suspect that it was that.
That it was what?
That it was, just some randos. I think
Okay.
it was probably people that she had some sort of contextual relationship with.
Either way, it's very sad.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't get one person for 18. I mean, you need to change your friend circle. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just breathe. I'm gonna need you to breathe. I'm gonna need you to breathe.
I'm like, who is out here really having to pay for sex though? That's my thing though. Like
Ooh, that's a whole nother conversation.
who's out here really having to pay? I mean, the mom who's pissed off, we understand why she did it, her reason. But I mean, like, just like, even if she needed the $1,800, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that these 3 guys that she had to sleep with in a position that they feel like they need to pay for sex? Like, why would I do this? Like, I should just give you the money because I don't need to pay for sex.
Well,
right?
There probably was a part of it where one or two of them, had tried or had, she was like, okay, we're going to negotiate a surrender. 600. I'm assuming that it was 600, 600, and 600. But maybe it was 12, 7, and 1. I don't know. But there was, I believe, because I don't know, I believe that there was some sort of surrender, and there was some sort of person that had probably, been like, man, what do I have to do to get with you? I got just the thing. Run that 600.
Yeah, that's it. That's a sad conversation. All these things are making me sad now. John, Renee, Renee.
But you bring up an interesting point. Why does anybody have to pay? Because there's so many people that are willing to give you so much. But if you have to pay, that says something about you. If you're the person that has to, I mean, and I think that
paying for sex.
Yeah, just out and out paying for sex. Because I think that man, if you pay for it just indirectly, I need my hair and my nails done. I need to get my car shot.
I know why people have sex.
I get that part,
Yeah.
but you don't have. I think what you're saying is that you don't have to in this day and age.
Right.
There's so many free sources that why would you ever pay?
Right. Exactly.
Because I think that I don't know. Do women pay for sex? They probably do.
Yeah.
But I think.
Yeah.
And do they do for their? So my opinion or my thoughts, I don't know, is that men pay for sex so they can just do the act and detach and be done. So without the drama, without all that comes with it, because they want a connection.
They want a service, and that's it.
Yes. So that's what I'm thinking. Do women pay for sex for the same reason? I don't know.
I would label it more broadly as convenience.
Convenience.
Because I
Well,
mean,
you service me. Let me give you your money and be.
or
Yeah.
I'm half hour. I have this amount of time. I need to do this. I don't have time for all of the other stuff. There's no build up.
Okay.
There's no.
I need you to do this to me. This to me.
There's
This.
apparently no real emotion, no real connection other than this is contractual.
But you know what? It's funny because there are people that can do that are totally into it, and once they're out of the moment, they can totally detach.
Yeah.
That is somebody that is really powerful. I mean, they are an animal in the act of doing it, and then once it's over, and they,
They can't remember the last 30 seconds.
Right, close the door on your way out.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, how we doing on time?
45 minutes.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. I think we beat this.
But you know what we haven't beat to
Yes.
that? April 25th. Our next in-person event. Conversation
there.
If you came to the last in-person event, February 28th, you already know it was everything.
It really was. It really was.
Everything. So that means this is going to be everything
Plus.
This is going to be everything. So you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. April 25th, 3 to 6 p.m.
4507 South Indiana.
You don't want to miss it, guys. Get your tickets. The Eventbrite link is on our pages. So tap on it, and we'll see you there.
Bring a friend. You don't want to stop being selfish. Bring somebody with you.
Take me
This
to
is
there.
to be
To there.
this is to be enjoyed by many people because this is going to be a great time.
It is. It is.
Always is, and the food is good. The
The
music is
DJ,
better.
man, I'm
But
telling
the
you.
topics are even better.
Juice said, juice fruit. You don't want to miss this.
Mhm.
So we'll see you guys on April 25th, but we'll see them before then because we'll see you next Tuesday. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. When we're
Yep.
Yeah. then we'll see if you're Chicagoland. Get
Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. And good night.
Good night.
Good night,
If the
everybody.
kids are with
Good
now,
night,
come
sweetheart.
come back in the room.
It's time to go. Do. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. Okay, now
I can't hear anything.
I'm gonna get out of here later. I gotta turn it around.
Wait, I haven't X this. Hold on before you guys.
All right. And hold on. Let that just go away.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. It did.
No, it's not ended yet.